The moment our fellow geeks, dweebs, nerds, and other unfortunates have been fervently waiting for has finally arrived. It's time for TMI, Confessionals of the Nerd Kind. And now, your hosts, Jeff Nerf Herder Chandler and Jim Kaiju Baker. And now, let's get on with the show. Here is TMI.
Welcome. We are digging into our past and pulling out a format that we haven't used, I don't know in how long.
And I think it might have been Death on the Nile.
That was the first one we did.
Oh, that was the first one.
Christine was the last one. Yeah.
Oh, Christine. We did do Christine. So we've already done Stephen King.
Yeah.
Because we also did Wizard of Oz, which was very interesting.
We did Firestarter.
So we're already 2 Kings in.
That might be it, those 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe. I'm trying to remember what else I read.
But this is our book club. So what we do is we find a movie that is based on a book, not by a man named Lear, like they say in Paperback Writer, but a book that has been made into a movie. We read the book, we watch the movie, and then we compare.
That sounds way too highbrow for this show.
It is. So we did baby steps this time. We decided we needed something to ease our way back into this book club. So we used a very easy 15-page short story to get through very quickly.
Wait, yours was only 15? Mine was 17.
Yours was 17? Maybe the text was smaller
pages.
in mine.
Yeah, I did have a bigger book.
Well, mine is a very small 1984.
There you go.
Paperback.
Oh, that was right. That was riding high on Children of the Corn.
I bought this in the bookstore when Children of the Corn came out. So the cover is the movie poster of Children of the Corn. Yeah. And it has 8 pages of film scenes. Remember when movie tie-ins used to have...
put the little insert. Yeah,
they put the little insert.
Photos.
There's Malachi there.
Malachi, he who walks between the rows.
Yep.
See, we should just keep this up with Stephen King books. Because we will talk a bit about his adaptations and why he decided he needed to direct this movie we're going to discuss.
I'm sorry that there can't be scratch and sniff on this program, but it smells like a beautiful library.
I will tell you, I do the same thing. Whenever I open up an old comic book, I smell it and I get called out for it all the time. But there's a certain level of nostalgia with that kind of musty paper.
Yeah,
you're right. It smells like a library. Yeah. Or you're a librarian. So
what we're talking about today is the only movie that Stephen King himself has directed, 1986's Maximum Overdrive.
Woo! And if you don't recognize that, all I have to mention is Green Goblin, Giant Truck Face.
Or Who Made Who? By AC/DC.
Who Made Who? Yeah. Oh, yeah. This whole soundtrack is. As a matter of fact, I did mention this to somebody yesterday, and that's the first thing they said. The AC/DC one? I'm like, yeah, the AC/DC soundtrack. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was ahead of the curve on that. We were just talking before we hit record. Tron Ares, nothing but 9-inch nails. Sets the mood, sets the tone.
So, Trucks, short story that was re-released in Stephen King's collection of short stories from 1978 called Nightshift, but it was originally published in a 1973 issue of Cavalier magazine.
Yeah, I did see that. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Which was like a Playboy type
So they
magazine.
Commissioned him to write a short story. And this is what he comes up with. I'm looking at booby shots in this magazine. Boudoir shots, I guess. And I get this story in the middle. Although, to be honest with you, I remember one of my first subscriptions was Rolling Stone. And I would love was it Thomas Wolfe?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he wrote a fair amount of story. And I was like, all right, I'm getting some culture here.
Although Rolling Stone, usually I would always see not so much self-contained stories, but like excerpts of like a novel,
of an existing novel.
Yeah.
But it was enough to tease you, and you're like,
yes, and then you want to go and get it.
Yeah. So 1973, That's pretty early in his career, yes? Or no?
Yeah. And the Night Shift is full of short stories from that early 70s period. So they were
Right.
all pretty much published elsewhere. And this is just his first collection of them. Trucks, which
Trucks.
then became Maximum Overdrive. And if you really want to get down into it, in 1997, the
I
USA
did.
Network made a
Timothy
remake.
Busfield.
So I watched that as well
Oh,
to
get out of
discuss.
here.
I
You
did.
actually, oh, you
It's
went
on
all
Tubi.
in.
It's on
You
Tubi.
went all in on this
I
one.
did. Yeah.
How does
So
that hold up? Are we going to talk about that?
I'll briefly talk about it. It's
Yeah.
not really
Is
not
it a
anything to
remake of
write home.
Maximum Overdrive or is it
No,
closer to the
no.
book?
It's neither, kind of.
Okay. That
I
they
mean,
just
the same basic
it's
premise
a
is
concept.
there,
Yeah.
but they really try to flesh out both the story and Maximum Overdrive in Trucks, and it doesn't
It
work.
doesn't work.
No.
You over explain this stuff, and I think it doesn't work. And this is the one thing I'll take away. So the book, that's 17 pages, 15 pages, really kind of reads like a rough draft of what a concept of a movie would be.
And it gives, like you said, it doesn't explain anything. It puts the characters in this situation
Yeah.
where they're already stuck in a truck stop, in like a roadside diner that's also a truck stop. And they're trapped in there because there's trucks outside that will run them down if they leave the truck stop. Now, in the first couple of paragraphs, it's revealed that nobody is driving these trucks.
Yeah.
So it's just some phenomenon that's never explained, which kind of adds to the tension. And
I agree, because Maximum Overdrive, I think, doesn't go out of the way to try to explain it, but you do get that opening scroll telling you that the Earth is being pushed through the tail of a comet, and there's electromagnetic storms, and this is somehow animating these trucks. But then later, Emilio Estevez's character makes mention of aliens.
and then in the
leave it
last,
off the table.
at the very end, it says that a UFO is destroyed in the text.
Which it's a complete disconnect.
Yeah.
There's some weird shit going on in this movie, but yeah, you're right.
I understand. I understand because, okay, the medium of cinema. Stephen King himself has described Maximum Overdrive as a moron movie, quote unquote. I would think if you're making a moron movie, you've got to go out of your way to explain things. So you got to give the audience what they want, which is, why is this happening? So they try some hackneyed thing. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, this comet. Most of the characters believe that this is what's happening. And in the book, it's
Right.
almost like
And if they
without
just-
that visual, even though the medium of film has that visual, with the book, especially in this case, just your imagination puts you in that diner with these characters where the movie doesn't. So I think that they are very aware of this, filmmakers, especially. Maybe I'm giving King too much credit because he said he didn't know what he was doing, and that's why he never directed another movie again. You kind of have to be, in a lot of cases, spoon-fed things for a movie, where in a book, a lot of it is up to your imagination. You can put yourself in with these characters. That's why the story has such a serious tone. It is not campy at all. It's not funny in any way.
No, and you got a much smaller cast, and it's all told from a narrator's perspective.
And you just feel the hopelessness of the situation that they're in.
Well, the story itself ends very nihilistic.
And,
There's no end. There's no out.
And it's a very like Night of the Living Dead setup as well, where your characters are stuck and they can't go out because whatever's going to kill them is outside. The movie, and I think, again, understandably, it would be hard to pull off driverless trucks and make them scary. Like, look at The Car from 1970. They tried that, but it's still, the concept is kind of wonky. I think rightly so, they go campy with the tone of Maximum Overdrive.
Which I think is the right way to go, because the violence is horrific, but it's kind of, especially like there's a scene with the softball team and the soda machine is killing these people. And it's just, it's kind of it's horrific. This guy's literally got like a soda can hole in his head, but it's played for laughs.
And the kid is like,
you
Coach,
got the demonic
Coach.
ice cream truck that's coming. And you feel so bad for that kid. But I would say Duel. You never see the driver. You don't know if that is just a demonic.
Duel is a good comparison. Now, this is interesting. When was Duel made? Let's look this
That
up
was
right now.
early 70s, because that was really early 70s. Because that's what got him Sugarland Express, and then from there bounced into Jaws.
To quote AC/DC, who made who?
Yeah.
1971. So maybe Stephen King saw Duel. He must have.
Wow, we're on to something. He cribbed Spielberg.
Maybe he did. I'm not accusing anything.
Wow. Listen.
Maybe he didn't see it until years later.
50 some years later, we're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Trucks just opens, the story just opens with, the guy's name was Snodgrass. And you think Stephen King is great with names. I don't know if he makes them up or if they're names that, he knows.
I bet you he has a notebook of just weird, odd names.
But you'd think that somebody named Snodgrass is a jerk. That's immediately where my head goes, right?
Yeah, it's a very negative connotation.
And he is. So he's a salesman stuck in the truck stop with them, who's slowly going crazy and doesn't want to grasp the reality of the situation and runs out in a panic. Everybody's trying to stop him, and he just bursts right through and he gets hit.
Yeah.
And for the rest of the story, he's stuck in a ditch with his back broken,
crying,
screaming for help.
Screaming. And that does carry through in the movie.
It does, but in a goofy kind of way.
Correct. Well, yeah. I mean, one of the characters says that piece of crap is a Bible salesman. I don't think in a book he was a Bible salesman, but just any kind of door-to-door salesman has a really negative slant to it.
And I know that King his friends during that time was good friends with George Romero. So the correlation of Trucks and Night of the Living Dead is undeniable, because you've got even some of the same types of characters. The crazy guy who ends up running out is kind of like Harry, the father, who is the crazy one in Night of the Living Dead. You've got the teen couple. You've got the narrator, who could be Ben from Night of the Living Dead. So the correlation is there, and it works.
That's interesting.
In the story.
Yeah,
it absolutely works.
Yeah. And because it's condensed down to so little pages, I will say his descriptive, the way that he describes, especially like when the bulldozer is ripping through the building, is so like you said, like your imagination just kicks in. You're there.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I do want to know what AIDS, AIGS. He mentions this numerous times, and I can only imagine it's eggs.
Eggs, but with somebody's accent.
Eggs. I'm like, what the is
got some eggs.
Eggs.
Got some eggs.
Eggs. So is this one of the few, if not the only, Stephen King book / story that takes place not in Maine?
Well, I'm not sure where the story takes place.
This is in North Carolina.
Well, the movie definitely takes place in North Carolina and filmed in North Carolina. But I wasn't sure about the story, if they ever say.
That's actually a good question. But because, you talk about this, the eggs, AIGS, I don't think that's not like a Boston accent. But there was a couple things in this book that I thought they could have used, because it's very cinematic, and they don't use it in the movie. Specifically using the ketchup bottles as Molotov cocktails.
Yeah, because it makes sense, right? They'd have a million ketchup bottles in there.
That's a great visual.
Yep.
Use what you have available to you. You're trapped in a diner. You're not throwing eggs at them. No, so that, and I thought that was great. And it's like, oh, well, I guess that didn't happen in them, because I did watch the movie first.
Oh, you did? It was the opposite for me.
Oh, gotcha. It's short. It's quick. It just sets the tone. And then it just leaves you hanging like, these people are not getting out of this.
Yeah.
Because there's this brilliant little thought at the end where the narrator is like, well, eventually these things are just going to rust and they're going to die. And then humanity can just take over, whoever survives. And then he gets this vision of, well, they enslaved us to pump fuel. So what makes them think they're not going to enslave people to keep the assembly lines open, to just keep making new trucks? And I'm like, oh, that's a sucky way. It's like, crap. I thought we just wait this out.
What I thought was missing from both the story and the movie, which would have been just such a sweet scene. One of the truck drivers, of course, his rig is out there circling, both in the story and in the movie. And in the story, it's a classic quote. She's a good old girl. I can't understand it. As he's stuck in there. I would have liked to have seen the truck driver get killed by his own truck.
That would have been...
Like he tries to go out. Come on, girl. And try to calm her down.
Horse. Yeah, sure. It's me, baby. We've spent many a line down the road. Come on, baby. So yeah, you never know why they're mad. And you do get that line in the movie numerous times from the waitress. She's like, "We made you. We made you."
And that's actually a carry through from the story, because the teenage girl, I think, says that in the story.
Yeah. Which makes sense. It's not like Day of the Animals where the animals all rebel.
The narrator knows how to do everything. He's the leader. So,
unlike the movie where there really is no leader. No one knows what to do.
No.
I mean, Emilio Estevez does step up a bit, but he's a doofus.
But so the narrator comes up with the idea, if we're going to be stuck in here, we need water, and we have to go outside to the bathrooms to get it, which doesn't end well.
No, yeah. Him and the kid go out, and it was like, I think between the two of them, they scooped about a bucket, which was not going to last long.
The movie, like as you said, goes elsewhere. Like in the beginning, there's a montage of all the mayhem happening all over the place.
And this is great. This is a great setup. This is exactly what you want to see. Although it is watermelon violence. It's, the motorcyclist slides through the windshield, but it's not like blood and guts. The smashed watermelon kind of replaces that. It's cartoon. It's a cartoon, and we get the Stephen King cameo right up front. Honey, this machine just called me an a-hole. I'm like, here we go.
Which made me laugh again. Of course. I know what reputation Maximum Overdrive has. I know it's supposed to be a terrible movie, but I had a lot of fun watching it.
So I'm assuming you saw this in the theater like I did.
I didn't see it.
You did not,
as a matter of fact.
Wow, because I know you were a big Stephen King fan.
I was, but I think even you were like, I'm not
watching this crap.
At that point, I was 15.
86. You were still in high school.
I was still in high school, but I was 15 when it came out. I had been burned many times by movies that I just went to go see on faith. I'm looking at you, Krull, and other things.
We covered Krull, too. I think we enjoyed it.
Lots of movies like that I found out that the world of movies isn't always roses. I think Steven Spielberg is to blame for me thinking that for a few years. Like every movie I'm going to see is freaking going to be amazing.
Yeah, not every meal you eat is going to be filet mignon.
So I began to take notice of reviews. So I probably saw a terrible review of Maximum Overdrive.
Roger Ebert ruined you.
And said,
like, I'll go see this.
I'll wait for this to come out on video, which I did. So I saw it for the first time when it hit the video stores. I thought it was okay when I saw it on video, but I didn't think it was great. So I can probably count on one hand the times I've seen this movie.
Okay.
It was nice to revisit it again.
Yeah. And it's a 1986 cast. Well, listen, the minute you see that Dino De Laurentiis name come up, you're in for some schlock. And I'm like, all right. Did you see that he wanted Bruce Springsteen? Stephen King wanted Bruce Springsteen to be the lead?
As if he would actually do it, first of all. There's one thing for Stephen King to want Bruce Springsteen, but for Springsteen to actually want to do it is a whole other
Not only
question.
that, I don't know if he can act. I've never seen him act in anything.
Well, in that Glory Days video, he was pretty good. I'm on Fire. He was pretty good in that video.
Yeah, well, those are 2-minute videos.
Yeah.
So right up front, we get that drawbridge scene, and it's just pure chaos.
Here's the thing. I was very excited about Maximum Overdrive because I used to get Fangoria every month. So this was being reported on for months and months and months before it came out because it's a Stephen King movie directed by the man himself.
And he even made a video explaining why he was going to take this. Did he lose that lazy eye? Because have I just not paid attention to him for the last 30 years?
Oh, he had a lazy eye? I didn't even notice it in the movie.
He looks like, so the opening, there's a video that he's standing in front of the Green Goblin truck. and he's explaining why he decided to direct this movie, and it's on YouTube. But his one eye is like, it looks like he's just talking to me cross-eyed.
Well, he does say that he was coked out of his mind, so that could be.
Oh, he does
why.
say he was out of his mind. And like you said, he refers to this as a moron movie. He says this is the reason he's never gone back to direct. But I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen more highly acclaimed directors make worse productions.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nice choices going on here. And for the most part, these trucks are menacing.
Well, there is a rumor. We have to address this.
Okay.
You probably read this. There's a rumor that it was, I don't know what the term is, ghost directed, allegedly, by George Romero, who was on set pretty much every day.
Oh.
And some film historians say that a lot of the setups, the camera setups, are classically Romero.
Really?
So, yeah.
There's one in particular I really liked, which was the camera was sitting down low with the swing set, the empty swing set, and the truck just comes barreling up and stops like right behind the swing set after like one of those passes around, or he took out somebody. Interesting.
But that's smart, because if you don't know what you're doing,
sure,
you would want somebody on there to, to give you advice. So,
I mean, it's when you're writing a book, you can just write it from afar. You can just create descriptive. This is a lot of people, throw umbrage at comic book artists, but you have to be a cinematographer and a director in every scene you set up. Camera angles. Where am I seeing Spider-Man come into the scene? Where it's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you write a book, you just here's what's happening. Yeah. Here's a description.
But during that drawbridge scene, the moment that I knew that I was completely in was when the drawbridge opens, right?
Yep.
And that one guy on the motorcycle slides off in slow motion going, whoa!
Okay. It's not enough that you're going to slide off. You're going to make a noise. What kind of noise you want me to make, boss?
Like you're in a goofy sitcom on TV.
And we even have an AC/DC van. He was pushing for the band to have a cameo, and they're like, yeah, we want no part of that. We'll sing the songs, but we're not. I
wonder what they would have done. Maybe that was supposed to be them.
Maybe
in the van.
That looks like their tour van.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's pretty lame.
The drawbridge scene goes from goofy because when the guy goes off in slow motion, you can tell he's not hurt because he falls into the water and it's not that far of a fall. But then suddenly, once the drawbridge starts going up more, then you start getting some gratuitous violence. Like you've got bodies coming out through the windshields, people getting run over. Then you've got the watermelon violence, as you mentioned. Did the watermelon go through a windshield? Am I mistaken about that?
The guy went through the windshield.
Okay.
Somebody did. Somebody went through the windshield.
A watermelon went through something.
Yeah,
I know that.
Watermelon went through a lot of stuff. That was, like I said, the watermelon violence was off the chart.
Gallagher was driving a truck on the bridge.
This is actually where he got his idea. He's like, son of a bitch. Give me a mallet. Somebody, hand me a mallet.
Of course, you got to have the two idiot drawbridge operators. I think we're in trouble.
Yeah, these idiots. What were they doing before?
Picking their nose. The one guy was picking his nose.
Yeah, well, so he's not above going down to potty humor.
No. And he does it here quite a bit.
Yeah.
Literally, they go into the sewer at one point, but
I don't know. I think I'd be wearing this moron movie label as a badge at this point.
But now we get the star of the movie, which of course is not in the book. The Happy Toys truck, which is
custom designed specifically for this movie.
Custom designed by Happy Toys, I would assume, as well in the fictional world of this movie.
Yeah, this is an odd choice because they had to get permission from Marvel to do this, to use this Green Goblin head, and it's a custom fiberglass head. And there's a history behind it we'll talk about on the back end. But yeah, this right here, like, you want your truck to be evil? This is about as evil as you can get. I will say this though, that damn clown on the back is probably even creepier than the Green Goblin.
Oh, definitely, the clown is. I don't know who they're advertising to with this truck, because
I don't even know if it's street legal.
Would want to be like within 10 feet of this thing.
Yeah, no, it would not make me happy at all. And what's the tagline? Here comes another load of joy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a toy truck. How menacing could it be? Oh, it's an ice cream truck. Oh, they're friendly. Yeah, no.
But apparently it didn't take much to get the licensing rights because they did ask Marvel for permission
Yeah, they did
to
get
use the
permission.
likeness of the Green Goblin, and they gave it. This
Oh, yeah,
this was in
sure.
the days when Marvel properties weren't the hot commodity that
No,
they are now.
86.
Yeah,
No, that was right before, I think 87 is when they went bankrupt.
yeah.
No, maybe it was 91.
I don't even know if money
Either
was
way, they did go
exchanged.
chapter 11. So they're probably like, you would have to think they would throw them some money. I don't know.
But just reading everything else that appears in this movie that, are on the whim of Stephen King, like AC/DC, for example. So you could only think that he wanted the Green Goblin in this movie.
Yeah,
Marvel fan?
I did not get like the origin of why it was the Green Goblin, why it wasn't just some weird demonic clown.
Yeah.
You could have just made that clown head from the back.
But if it wasn't the Green Goblin, then this movie wouldn't be nearly as iconic as it is.
No, that truck is super iconic.
So this is the truck that's driven by one of the characters that stops at the truck stop. So this is the part, and especially with the Green Goblin head, I would have loved to have seen that trucker come back out and get killed by his own truck.
Right.
The green, and get creamed by the Green Goblin. And then maybe for the rest of the movie, he's in the mouth of the Green Goblin.
That would have been grisly. Oh, that would have been horrible. I don't think Marvel would have approved of that.
Right.
And then the Green Goblin eats the guy. Wait a minute.
So as we're establishing the characters at the truck stop, as they're, slowly arriving, this is when you're seeing the montage of things happening elsewhere. And this is what you don't get in the short story. And at the same time, as trucks are going haywire, all machines are going haywire. And in the story, it was really just vehicles, right? They didn't really...
No, yeah, they never really talked about, like, the blender didn't go crazy on them.
Yeah, like the
toaster,
arcade.
none of that stuff.
That's Giancarlo Esposito.
I know. I
the
did
arcade.
not. That is crazy. Giancarlo Esposito, highly respected actor,
Yeah.
getting taken out by Star Castle.
What's great about that is that the arcade game, because he's in an arcade and the change machine,
Every truck stop had one.
starts to spit quarters that he's trying to put in his pockets. The cigarettes are coming out, which he's also trying to put in his pockets. But as this is happening, he gets hypnotized by one of the arcade games that's flashing these big symbols at him. And I'm reading that's actually what they used to do, the government, when they would do ESP tests with people.
Oh, get out of here.
That's what they would flash.
I thought you were going to tell me it was some kind of alien language that was tying into, because that whole UFO thing just comes out of left field.
And when in the movie, whenever somebody gets killed, you hear this psycho type music, like
Yeah, no, it is straight up like Psycho. It's very effective. But this is, like you said, this is where we're introduced to Billy Robinson, who is played by Emilio Estevez. And I can't take credit for this, but I did see a review on IMDb where they referred to Emilio Estevez from evil trucks to mighty ducks. I was like, that's fun.
So he's just this guy that's kind of like an indentured servant at the
He's
diner.
a real crappy short order cook. The first thing you see him do is breaking the yolk on an egg. And I'm like, yeah, he'd be fired in a heartbeat.
But he's on parole, so he's lucky to have this job. And
apparently they're all on parole.
Yeah. Did
you catch when he was going through his time card and he had the star on it? They all had stars, which indicated that they were felons, that they were on parole. But there was a time card and the name on it was Gene Poole. It's like, it's silly. I don't know. It just caught me. But we're introduced to Bubba as well. Bubba's like this good old boy manager, and he's a piece of crap. You cannot wait for Bubba to be taken out by something.
He's pretty much Darnell, the garage owner from Christine.
Yes. Yeah. But he has all the best lines.
He does.
The whole world's gone tits up.
You got a star on your card, boy. You gonna work.
Yeah. You work 9
hours, punching for 8.
Yeah, piece of crap. I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
Right at that moment, when you're introduced to Emilio or Bill, the meat slicer, turns on by itself and cuts the waitress's arm.
Yeah. And then she leans on the hot grill, but it doesn't burn her.
And as this is going on, the trucker is still hitting on her. Did that knife turn rabbit on you, sweet thing?
Listen. even when they realize that they're pretty much screwed, Emilio Estevez is just looking. He's just looking to bed down whatever comes his way.
So this is the part now, again, after this little exposition in the diner of where we're introduced to Bill, it goes off-site again. So now we're at the Little League game, and where you said, the soda machine goes haywire.
Yeah. Hey, boys, we won. You want a soda? Have a Coke and a smile. Dunk.
And first, of course, it hits him
right in the crotch.
In the crotch, and of course,
this is red hat violence right here. This is, and the kids are just. I mean, the kid get run over by a steamroller. This is brutal.
Initially, because that happens after the coach gets the hole in his head from the soda can. So now the kids are all running scared because the soda machine is doing Hail Mary passes, hitting these kids across
just stand to the left and it'll go right by you. This is like a Prometheus when the giant ship is falling. Just get out of its shadow. Just take a step to the right.
As the kids are running away from the soda machine, just this wild steamroller comes bursting onto the baseball diamond.
Yeah.
And one kid trips. Now, Stephen King says that initially they were just going to have the kid get run over. Of course, it was a dummy.
Oh, I thought they really killed a kid.
And he wanted a blood bag in the kid's fake head, mostly so he could see the smear on the
as it comes back around.
Steamroller, as it comes
just
back
like in
around.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
But apparently it worked so well that it exploded outwards when it hit the kid. And he was like, yes, when they got the shot. And they made him take it out. The censors made him take it out. They said it was too violent.
Oh man, is that some outtakes sitting there
I don't
somewhere?
know. I
along
hope
with
so.
those scenes of the shark eating Alex Kittner.
But even as it is, it's a very shocking scene to see that kid go under the steamroller.
Yeah. I want to go back to Bubba for a second. That's Pat Hingle. He was Commissioner Gordon in the first 4 Batman movies.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, we do have a little bit of some because we also are introduced later to Curtis and Connie, and that's Yeardsley Smith, who goes on to play Lisa Simpson.
Yeah, who has disowned this movie apparently.
Well, I really? Well, she's obnoxious. Oh, she's so shrill.
I think the point with her, I think that they were trying to push her to be like the comic relief, and it just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I will give shout out though to Herman's Head, which she was in from 91 to 94. Way ahead of its time, that show on Fox. So,
but this was pre-Simpsons, so nobody would have pegged her as Lisa Simpson.
Yeah, no. And there is a Simpson episode where Homer drives a truck and it becomes sentient, called Maximum Overdrive. I'm like, all right, we got a couple Simpson references going in here.
Then we get introduced to is she a teenager herself? Laura Harrington as the hitchhiker.
I would like to think that she's
early 20s, maybe?
Of age, yeah. Yeah, because the creep that picks her up immediately hands all over her. And it was like, all right, dude. Yeah, she's from Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai.
She is also in What's Eating Gilbert Grape as this older sister.
We were more concerned with Mary Steenburgen. We weren't paying attention to the sister.
So yeah, she has been picked up. She's been hitchhiking, and she's been picked up when we meet her by a Bible salesman who is the Snodgrass in this movie. Although his name isn't Snodgrass, I would have loved it if it was.
No, I don't think that's the one thing outside of like Billy and Curtis and Connie. Like some of them just don't even have names, which is fine. Bubba, you need a name like Bubba.
So this Bible salesman has got his hand on her knee the whole time. And they're hearing reports on the radio, get off the roads. Something's happening. We don't know what. And they pull into the truck stop. She's trying to get away from him. They're arguing in the truck stop. The guy just won't take no for an answer. Is that when he gets run down? I think it is.
I think it is, yeah. Literally knocked out of his shoes. Yeah. Which is in the book. So right off the bat, you're like, all right, this guy's an absolute creep. And the truck realizes that. Truck is showing some valor. But is this before or after the guy looks into the nozzle of the gas pump? And
that was so stupid.
I'm like, what? I mean, this is how we weed out the weak.
That's like misfiring a gun and then looking down the barrel.
What's going on here?
Maybe if I put my eye, like a monocle, put my eye on it.
It's so stupid. But it makes you laugh because it's so stupid.
I think first he puts it in, doesn't like he suck on it first, and then he puts it up to his.
I'm trying to remember. It doesn't matter. Yeah, whatever.
And I also noticed there was a Bic truck, like flick my Bic.
Yeah, well, we were talking about this before. There's a lot of product placement in this.
Yeah.
There's a Miller truck that gets blown up. There's a toilet paper truck that gets blown up. I'm like, I need TP for my bunghole. I am Cornholio. That is a waste of beer, by the way. If it's the end of the world, that's the way to go. It's going to kill my liver.
So now our cast is assembling in the truck stop. They were all already there in the story. But now we're meeting our cast and they're assembling at the truck stop. The one kid who survived the massacre on the Little League field.
Because he gets in and he goes, is my dad all right? And they're all like, yeah, kid. But this is nice because you get all the other secondary violence from his point of view as he's trying to make his way to the truck stop. So you see the lawnmower, you see the people dead hanging out their windows or on power lines. And and then that's where we're introduced to the ice cream truck, the Mighty Tasty.
Which is a great idea in itself because I would have loved to have seen kids running after it and then it turns around and runs them down.
Yeah, or the ice cream machine. And all of a sudden you're getting an ice cream cone, those pointed ice cream cones right in the eyeball.
Did you notice that it was playing King of the Road? That was the...
Oh, no, I don't know if I got what it was actually playing.
Ain't got no cigarettes.
Is that Boxcar Willie?
That's...
Oh, no, that's not Boxcar Willie.
Not Glenn Miller.
Glenn Miller?
I was going to say, no.
Roger Miller.
Roger Miller.
Roger
yes.
Miller.
Yeah.
The Rooster.
From
Alan Adale from Robin Hood.
Robin Hood, yeah, that's him.
Yeah. Disney's Robin Hood.
So the kid ends up getting chased from suburbia by the lawnmower, which he, easily outruns.
He's got to get to the highway. He's got to get to where Dad's working. Although, yeah, like I said, Dad's the idiot that looks inside the gas pump, gas in the eye. Yeah, kid, I don't want to tell you what happened to your dad.
So the trucks are not only keeping everybody inside the truck stop, but they're also destroying their cars, which raises the question, why aren't the cars coming alive?
Why aren't the cars? Yeah, because everything else, you're getting all this other stuff. Like you said, the electric knife is coming alive. So in the book, the first time that the trucks try to send a message for them to come out and pump, they don't do it. And it was only when they just start destroying the building do they decide, all right, we got to go. These things are just going to kill us. So we got to go out and fuel it. Where here, they don't destroy the building until after they've already escaped. And I'm like, that would have been a great visual, at least ratcheted up the tension a bit by having them still in the building when these things are destroying it.
Yeah.
Because that is a slow build where, the trucks come in, they're taking out inch by inch, they're getting closer to where they're hiding behind the counter. And then the bulldozer comes in. And this is where King's narrative really, the description of it all really, really ratchets it up. But they give in pretty quick and they're like, all right, let's go fuel these stupid things up.
But in the book, what adds to the feeling of dread and the fact that you don't know what's going on elsewhere is that there's trucks coming and going during the length of the short story. And King, or the narrator, describes them, the ones leaving, as hurrying off to unknown missions.
Yeah, that there could be 100 other stories going on at the same time. There's probably just refuge of people trying to figure out what's going on and how do we... At one point, a plane drops on this kid. And you're like, all right, nothing is safe. And we're all told eventually they just figure it out that, it's just something in the comet, this electromagnetic cloud that we're in. We just have to survive 7 days and we're good. Okay. Seems like a stretch, but no more explanation than anything else. But like I said, at one point, Billy's like in this fever dream and he starts talking about aliens trying to find a new home.
He's saying it's like a broom. Is that in this movie or in Trucks? Am I getting them mixed up?
That it's a broom?
It's like the aliens are coming. This is like a big broom. The aliens are coming to sweep us off the planet so they can come and take over.
That might have been part of Billy's dream. I don't remember that in the book. I don't think there's any reference to...
Yeah, that wasn't in the book. That was in one of these movies.
Okay, it's not even this movie.
But,
was that in Signs?
It may have been in Signs, yeah. But the married couple finally makes their way to the truck stop, which is Yeardley Smith. And
I gotta go to the ladies.
Connie and Curtis.
Can I just ask, was Andrew McCarthy too busy to take on this role? Because this kid looks just like Andrew McCarthy.
John Short is the actor's name. They're almost going to get cream themselves, but this is when the boss of the diner, Bubba, comes out with a bazooka that he's got in the basement.
Like a rocket launcher. It's a rocket launcher / bazooka. Yeah, apparently he's got an arsenal. He is one of these survivalists, which probably makes sense in the South. I don't know. Maybe there just wasn't any truck stops up in Maine. He's like, I can't set this in Maine.
But in reality, it's funny that weapon that they used for the movie, it's a one and done weapon. You can't reload it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why would we create a weapon like that you can't use twice?
I don't know.
That seems inefficient. All right, throw it away.
The hitchhiker has the line of dialogue that gives the movie its name. I was hitching down to Florida before every machine in the world went into maximum overdrive.
Ooh.
Everybody pauses to look at her. Yep.
Say the name of the movie. Roadhouse.
And so now you mentioned that the kid almost gets hit by the plane.
Yeah.
The plane is playing the Bugs Bunny music. Dun, 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 dun. Flight of the Valkyrie.
Apparently these aliens have a sense of humor.
The book, it ends on that terrifying line. I saw a couple of planes fly overhead. I'd like to think that there's people inside.
Yeah. Like a last ditch of hope. Yeah, that humanity is somehow going to survive this. Like I said, the ending is just very nihilistic. We're here. I'm not too thrilled with the ending either, and I didn't even remember this ending. And I'm like, oh, so what are we going to do?
Yeah.
So they decide that they need to. They want to go save the salesman who's in the ditch, moaning and crying and bitching, and the kid finds him. And this jerk immediately pretends he's like dead and then grabs a kid and says, "You got to help me, kid."
Yeah. I'll kill you if you don't help me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're laying in a ditch with a broken back, dude.
So they get the idea to use the sewer line, the sewer system, to crawl underground to get to the ditch to rescue this guy with a broken back. And they do that. And of course, they're making jokes. Oh, it smells real great down here. And
yeah. Every potty joke imaginable.
But before that, Bill, during this whole end of the world scenario, manages to bed the hitchhiker.
That's what I'm saying. End of the world. This guy's still looking to...
On the world's most filthy, dirtiest mattress. The wall is covered in like penthouse pinups as well.
What you have to imagine is Bubba's room.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they did the dirty on the dirty.
A post-coital conversation. Bill gets the idea that there's this island... Let's take a sailboat. There's this island called Haven, 6 miles off the coast.
Right. Can you sail?
No cars.
No.
Yeah, but there's
no
motorboats.
There's also
motorboats.
No food, no water.
Yeah.
Yeah. She does go out of her way to tell him that he did make love like a hero. Like a sandwich? Like what? You're like an Italian combo, my friend.
They start going under the ground in the sewer line to save this. This is where the movie, I think, comes to a stop.
Yes.
For me.
Agreed, because like I said, you ratchet up the tension by they wait until they're out of the building before the trucks start tearing it apart.
Yeah.
Up to this point, they're just circling.
They were trying to rescue somebody that you cared about. Then you might be more involved in this sequence, but you don't care if the guy gets saved or not.
No, we already know this guy's a piece of crap. But for some reason, they feel that they need that. Maybe they just wanted to shut him up. Yeah.
But once they get to the ditch, they see that the guy's dead, but they find the kid with him. So like, oh, we're here. Let's rescue you instead.
Yeah.
And that's when he's like, "Where's my dad?"
Yeah, your dad, Duncan. That was his name.
Night falls and everybody falls asleep. And this is the most insane scene in the entire movie. You see the bulldozer start coming like down the road, and then the camera goes inside and pans across everybody sleeping. And suddenly the 2 swinging doors open so hard that the glass breaks, and one of these guys that hasn't even had a line yet says, "What the f***'s going on here?" Out of nowhere. And there's nothing going on. There's no reason for him to say that.
Yeah. Thanks for drawing attention to us.
That made me laugh out loud when that guy came in.
Because it's silly.
Yeah. And then the boss comes out from the back room with the waitress. He's putting his pants on.
Yeah, this is like, ugh. Time to earn your keep, honey.
Yeah.
That's right. Bubba does get his.
And this is when the bulldozer comes in and that little cart comes in after it.
So it's like a military treadway. It's like a little freestanding robot that just has a gun attached to the top of it.
It's got like a rotor machine gun.
Yeah.
So I guess it's that counts.
Would probably
as a
need to be
machine.
manually operated by a human, but
Yeah.
in this sense, it's just shooting willy-nilly.
So it's like Squib Party in there now. Like everybody, like that's anybody that hasn't had like more than 2 lines of dialogue is getting shot. Like just taking care of them. Boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom,
we gotta weed out these a-holes.
This is the threat that in the story it was just the bulldozer ramming down the building if they didn't pump the gas. But now they've got the threat of a machine gun to shoot them down if they don't pump the gas. Now, in the book and in the movie, they decide that that's their only option is to pump the gas for the trucks.
Yeah, but it was only so this is nice because there's a couple scenes where all the trucks just start laying on their horns, and it is like overwhelming, like a cacophony of just noise. And I do I enjoy the fact that like when these trucks do have like this kind of like demonic growl to it, but they're sending a message that the kid deciphers is Morse code.
Yeah, thankfully, in the book, in the movies, somebody there knows Morse code.
Yeah, sure. Otherwise, you're just like, why is he flipping his lights at me?
Yeah.
Come on. But what would happen? So if you didn't know what the message was, you wouldn't have gone out to pump the gas.
No, definitely not.
And you would just stay inside, and eventually the trucks would be like, you know what? They're worthless. Let's just take them out, and we'll go on to the next truck stop.
The narrators thought, they don't really speak this in the movie, but the narrator's thought was, well, we could run to the mountains, but then they take bulldozers and bulldoze the mountains. But if you don't pump the gas, it would take them a long time to get up there to do that. So they would probably run out of gas before they're able to, flatten the entire Earth. So I think their chances are pretty good as long as they can get out.
Well, as long as you had food and water. Because even at the end of the movie where they escape on a sailboat, it's like you're still... like you have to wait out 7 days with no food or water. Where are you going? Okay. And like you said, there are motorboats.
There's a variety of
submarines. At this point, a submarine can just come up on you
and blow up the whole island of Haven, right?
But this is where Bubba, they just, all these good old boys just bring out the arsenal and just decide we're just going to shoot these things and blow them up.
And all they have to do is walk by the gun turret and spin it.
That was enough to be like, whoop, 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 whoop. This thing's like, I can't find them. Where'd they go?
So they decide, in the same fashion that they tried to save the guy in the ditch, that's how they're going to get out, to go underground.
Yeah, we just got to go back to where we were.
Yep. And then make it to the marina and then go to Haven from there.
Okay.
So that's what they do as the truck stop is being demolished so I guess the trucks still think that they're in there. Well, they're not.
But they wait, right? They wait. Like I said, you pinpointed it, which is this comes to a screaming halt for the longest time.
Yeah.
It's like these trucks. Why aren't these trucks just moving in? No, we'll just keep circling. Yep, circle them. Keep them.
Which is a problem you don't have in a 15-page short story. It's in and out. Yeah.
And this movie's not long. But still, he finds a way to bring it to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
So that Emilio Estevez can...
They really didn't need that. They could have figured out that there's a tunnel without them going through it. And the kid could have just run in, They didn't have to go out to get him.
How the hell did you get in here, kid? There's a tunnel right there. Oh.
The climax of the movie, of course, they have to have one more showdown with the Green Goblin.
Sure.
They make their way to the marina. The Green Goblin follows. And, the Green Goblin is a vehicle, but yet they make it on foot to the marina first.
Yeah, well, he had to figure out where they were. They're like, wait a minute. Because they leveled the place, and then they're like, well, they're not in here. I don't see any blood splatters.
There's one guy in there that still you're thinking, how did this guy survive? That's because they're holding them back to be killed at the end. Because he stops. There's a dead body hanging out of a car, and it's a woman that has a big diamond ring. So, of course, he stops to pull that ring off, and he gets creamed.
Is that really going to be worth anything in the apocalypse? I got this diamond ring. Listen, give me some beaver pelts and cornmeal.
And they still have the bazooka, right? That's how they
do. That's how Billy blows up the truck.
And he gives him the adios, motherfucker. And
yeah. I need a catchphrase here. Give me a catchphrase.
It would have been great if he actually gave him a Green Goblin line.
It would have been. Gobby. I mean, your friendly neighborhood short order cook. They only made one of those trucks.
They made one of the full-size trucks, but they made a couple of different goblin heads to put on the front.
Yeah, there's actually some history behind that.
So it's a happy ending. They make it onto their sailboat, their motorless sailboat, and you see them sail off to an uncertain future. So it's not as nihilistic as the story ends, because in the story, it's just an endless row of trucks. And when the gas runs out, a fuel truck comes to give them more gas.
Lays down his hose. Let's go. I mean, and then that's a great descriptive where this guy is out there pumping for 5-6 hours. He talks about the blisters on his hands bursting from just pumping the gas, and boom, that's it. Tanks are empty, boys. I don't know what to tell you. And like you said, all of a sudden the tanker truck shows up. Fill it up. We got to go again. But we do get the ice cream truck gets blown up as well.
Yep.
So, and this is where we get, like, as you mentioned before, we get this kind of throwaway line that a UFO was destroyed by a Russian satellite.
So why didn't the Russian satellite, get a mind of its own?
Become sentient? Yeah. There's a lot of, again, you can't overthink this because I don't know. Where does it draw the line?
And then it says everything went back to normal after 7 days.
Okay. So King was right. It's a moron movie, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's enjoyable.
It is really enjoyable. I would have liked to have seen this in the theater. I could have imagined the cat calling going on from the audience.
Not only that, I mean, AC/DC was at the height of their Hell's Bells. I mean,
this is a great song too. Who Made Who?
Who Made Who? Yeah. Which I don't think I realized was made specifically for this movie.
Yeah,
because some of the other songs just came off Back in Black and some of the other albums.
You Shook Me All Night Long is on here. A lot of retailers assumed that this was a AC/DC greatest hits album. Right. So they displayed it as such. But apparently only early pressings of the album had a Maximum Overdrive logo on it.
Oh, interesting.
Later pressings removed that.
They did not want to be associated with the... I did see on IMDb that Marla Maples plays a background character.
I did see that. I don't know who she played.
I don't know.
Though.
I think it was called Second Woman or something. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe she was one of the moms in the baseball game.
That could be, yeah.
Yeah. So
now, did you see that the director of photography lost his eye?
During the filming?
Immediately after the filming, but it's because of an accident that happened on set.
No.
The Italian,
that's a lawsuit.
It was, and he did bring a lawsuit. Armando Nannuzzi. There was a piece of wood under the lawnmower. And
why would there even be a real blade?
I don't know.
Just because it's killing people doesn't mean you really need to.
But the blade hit the piece of wood, and a piece of that wood went into this guy's...
stop.
He went to the hospital, and after the movie got wrapped, I guess he finished the movie, but after the movie wrapped, he had to have his eye removed.
I'm good. Just a flesh wound. I'll be back. That's horrible.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a bit about this Green Goblin head.
Yes.
Because right after it was, so there was 2 of them were made. And right after the filming, the one was just left in some salvage yard. And it wasn't until 87 that this guy picked it up and he displayed it in his video store for 20 years. And then when that closed, he just left it in his backyard. But it has since been restored.
I don't really know what he would have displayed, because it said, in what I read, the jaw, the lower teeth, the tongue, and the top of the ears were gone. So it would have just been the nose.
So there are videos, and there's a lot of videos about the history of this on YouTube, and they do show pictures. And this is because, like I said, they blew up that truck.
Plus, it was burned, right? Whatever he was displaying was burned.
So it fiberglass, and it was just the remains of it, but it was enough to be that's a piece, because he had some kind of a movie memorabilia.
Uncle Jim's Videoland.
Uncle Jim's Videoland, yeah.
Yeah, in Waverly, Ohio.
This guy, Tim Shockey, so he's the guy who picked it up from the salvage yard, but he's since restored it. and he was actually he was sanding off the head, and for $10 a pop, he was selling pieces of it as in like this little goblin dust baggies, and he was selling it to fund a project. And now the head's completely restored, and he goes around the country and tours with this thing. And you can book it and rent it out for your Halloween parties. So the second head currently sits in some moron's backyard decaying, and all offers to buy it or restore it have been refused by the owner. So
And
it just sits there
in his backyard.
It just sits there rotting away. Yeah, which is really wild. But I also read this guy, Nate Lawrence, has gone out of his way, and he rebuilt the entire truck. Right down he does touring shows as well. So he redid the front, but he recreated the entire truck, paint job and all, as close, as accurate as possible to the screen used truck.
Now, the Dixie Boy, which is the truck stop, was made specifically for the movie. So it wasn't an existing truck stop, and it was destroyed for the movie. But while they were filming, and this is in Wilmington, North Carolina, they filmed on location. Truckers tried to stop there for food and gas, and they had to turn them away.
Sorry, we have no gas.
Yeah.
Can I send you a Morse code? Would you fill me up then?
In 2023, Diecast Promotions came out with like a Matchbox version of the Green Goblin truck. It was a limited edition, and I looked it up. It's going for like $400 now on eBay.
Holy crap! So you mentioned this truck stop was a set piece that they made right down the road. They were filming Blue Velvet
at the same time.
At the exact same time. So David Lynch's wacky movie, and apparently the cast would get together and hang out together.
Imagine if Dennis Hopper was breathing on his oxygen in the truck stop.
It was fantastic.
He's Frank, right? That's his name in Blue Velvet.
It's been so long since I've seen that movie. I think I was very turned off by that movie.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't an enjoyable experience.
No, it is not. No, you talk about movies that you're disappointed in. You're like, why am I watching this? David Lynch is a very specific, learned watch.
There's another filmmaker who owes a debt to Maximum Overdrive, Sam Raimi. Stephen King, he was a huge fan of the first Evil Dead movie, starring, of course, Bruce Campbell and directed by Sam Raimi. And he heard that they were having trouble getting a distributor or production company to make the sequel, Evil Dead 2. So while King was working on Maximum Overdrive, he brought that to De Laurentiis. And hence, Evil Dead 2 got made. So it's because of Maximum Overdrive that we have Evil Dead 2.
And we want to talk about a moron movie, which again, I'm not using it in a derogatory term.
Right.
It is just that is something else.
In the scripted version of Maximum Overdrive, there is a scene at the end when they escape in the boat. They have to deal with a Coast Guard boat that comes up and tries to chase them. I don't know how they get rid of it, but there is that scene that for budgetary reasons they couldn't use it. And they also wrote in a shot of the city of Wilmington destroyed. Like it would have been like a matte painting shot at the end.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
But I guess they wanted to give a more hopeful ending, so that came out.
Well, but we're already questioning the fact that there was going to be boats.
Yeah.
Something will be out there waiting for them. Yeah, I don't know.
As I said before, there was only one full Green Goblin truck made, so they couldn't mess around with it. You know, if
which is
this
wild.
Up,
yeah, this is wild that they just one and done. It's like, yeah, we can only afford one truck.
Now, let me talk briefly about this remake that was done.
Oh, yes, this 1997 Trucks with Timothy Busfield.
Timothy Busfield from 30-something, the red-haired guy from 30-something.
Yeah, with the beard.
Yep. If anybody thought Maximum Overdrive was too long, this would seem like a 3-hour extravaganza. There is so much character buildup in here before anything happens. They don't even make it to the truck stop until about 30 minutes in to the movie.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. It's a made-for-TV movie, right?
It's a made-for-USA network movie.
Okay,
so
USA. It's not even a network.
Yeah, they really, really try to do, I don't know if it's, budgetary restrictions or whatever, but it's light on the trucks and very heavy on the character. So you've got to have Timothy Busfield. He's the guy that owns the gas station and the truck stop. and he's got a son, and they've got issues because his wife has died. Then you have the romantic interest of the woman that
Oh
runs
boy,
the
that's already way too
campsite.
much.
All these subplots going on. Often the trucks take a back seat to all this stuff. So the basic premise is there. There'd be people trapped in a truck stop. But the only scene that was, I think, stand up, applaud worthy was there's a part where a mailman is delivering mail to an abandoned town, right? So first of all, this should clue him in that something is wrong.
Nobody's home. Yeah.
He goes to the toy store and puts mail in the slot, and there's a little Tonka, a radio-controlled Tonka truck that's trying to get out at him from the inside of the store, that's bumping into the door like, "Meow, meow, meow." And it finally like jumps over something and busts through the window in slow motion and starts hitting him in the shin.
Oh,
And
no.
the guy thinks there's kids that are
Sure,
playing a
yeah.
joke on him, right? He's like, "Come on, you kids, stop it, stop it." And so it hits him just enough times where he loses his balance and he falls off the curb of the
boy.
sidewalk,
Yeah.
and he's trying to pick himself up again, and the truck comes around like in a big circle and repeatedly hits his face because he's lying on the pavement. And suddenly the guy's head just like starts to cave in, and you see from his point of view, you see the truck coming in
Just
and
keep
out of
coming
him.
at him.
The truck's got like brain matter on its, and every time the little truck backs up, it goes beep, beep, beep. And
Here I come again.
I thought that was brilliant. That scene was amazing, but the rest of it, I've already forgotten how it ended, so I can't even tell you that.
He did not finish his route that day.
No, he did not.
Yeah, that is funny. So not even like a little cameo of the Green Goblin truck, any kind of nod to the original.
No,
Nothing.
no Green Goblin, no
Yeah.
nothing.
Was the tagline "Go truck yourself"?
It should have been.
It should have been.
It
I think that's
definitely
the
should have
headline
been.
for our Instagram graphic.
So, okay, this is going to be hard, though.
It is hard because
What's better, the short story or the Maximum Overdrive?
If I'm basing I think the book just gets right to it. Again, it's not even an hour read. But
And it makes it scary. It makes the premise
correct.
scary.
And it packs everything that we see here into it without the goofy fluff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the
movie's entertaining. The movie's
is.
entertaining. You got the Stephen King cameo, you got the watermelon violence, you got the screaming Yeardley Smith.
You've got the motorcycle guy going, whoa.
You get just enough violence of these things running people over. You do feel bad for this kid who watch his entire baseball team be decimated. He's just wanting destruction all around him. Dead dogs, police car dogs. He makes it to find out his dad is dead. And he's like, I guess I'm going to go with these weird people on a boat.
Yeah.
Like this kid's the one who's going to be PTSD.
They should have explained to the kid first before, his father died. Let me tell you what happened with your father. He was trying to gas up a truck. Then he looked deeply into the nozzle of the. He
likes to do that. He did
what?
That. Yeah, well, it didn't work out so well for him this time. Kid.
I told him one day that's
come back and bite you, and
that's going to come back and bite you.
Mom always said, "Don't look in the nozzle." There's a lot of people doing stupid stuff,
but it's funny. So, it is funny.
It is funny. And, you take away this soundtrack and I don't know how it plays. You get Maximum Overdrive with the lightning bolt logo.
The only thing I was not entertained by was, I think, the one character that was designed to entertain, which was Yeardley Smith, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a miscast or she just didn't understand the assignment because she's just shrill.
She's very irritating.
She's just shrill through the whole thing. And it's just like, Curtis! It's like, oh, dude, please, truck. I'd be pushing her out while she was sleeping. I just roll out that bed right in the middle of the truck stop.
I think what we've done in the past book club episodes is give buckets to the story and give buckets to the movie. So in that case, I would give 3.5 out of 5 to Maximum Overdrive. Because I, again, had a great time watching it. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I chuckled quite a few times. And it's nowhere as near as bad, I think, as people make it out to be, as Stephen King himself makes it out to be.
Yeah, it's sad because it still sits at like 17% on IMDb, or I'm sorry, Rotten Tomatoes. It's better than that.
Yeah. But I will concede that the story it's based on is much better. Again, I don't know if they could have done the same thing that the story gets across in a movie version. I think they tried in the USA Network and it failed miserably. The story I'm probably going to give 4.25 buckets.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I will say the real heroes of this movie are these poor stunt drivers who have to drive under hidden compartments within these trucks.
So I know, like all the way back and down, so you can't see them.
Yeah, and they're just using like the old school camera monitors. And there is a scene where Connie and Curtis, he almost gets taken out by the tow truck. And I guess something happened to the axle of the truck and it veers too far to the left and almost took this guy out. So you talk about that poor guy with a piece of wood in his eye. Imagine if they accidentally ran over one of these actors. Oops. I hope you got that. I hope the camera was rolling. Yeah, that was good.
Can we get Andrew McCarthy, please?
Yeah. No wonder why you didn't want to do this.
Yeah.
So, but I agree with you. You know, I'm going to go 3.25 with the movie. It is entertaining. It's watchable. It's if you saw it in the theater, you're like, yep, this is exactly what I remember.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't remember the ending. The ending is a letdown. They throw all these ideas out here. The one thing I wanted to point out is we currently have a rogue comet coming in from outside our solar system that will be here. It is, what is the name of it? Hold on, because I actually did my research. I've been following this thing. At first, there was all kinds of reports that this was like some intelligent item, but they now think it's just a comet. It is the 31/Atlas, and it will be here in Earth around November.
Really?
So it is they deem it that it's going to be the oldest item to ever come through our solar system that we as a human race have experienced, have witnessed. Wow. So who knows? Electromagnetic pulse might follow that tail. We might be, listen, can't be the worst thing that's happened in the last couple of weeks. So maybe it's just sweet death waiting for us to happen.
It would be an improvement. It would if anything.
Improvement. So yeah, 3.25 for the movie, but I'll match you 4.25 for the book.
Yeah.
It sucks you right in. There's no exposition. They don't even try to explain. He doesn't try. It really is like, here is just the guts of an idea for a movie. This is just a pure story. Someone could take this and expand upon it. They did. It doesn't work as well. Stick to this 17 pages. You're in, you're out. You're left like, well, that sucks. These people are just going to be killed and slaves to these trucks. Yeah. And like I said, he mentions, well, maybe they'll just eventually all rust. Well, wait a minute. If they're enslaving us to gas them up, who's to say they're not enslaving humans to just make more trucks? I don't know. So fascinating. How many of those stories in that book alone have become movies? Because I think my book also highlights the fact that the Boogeyman had just been turned into a movie.
Let's see. Woman in the Room. I know they did something with that. Children of the Corn. Lawnmower Man is part of this
that's
collection.
In there?
Yeah, that's in there. That. Sometimes They Come Back is in this collection.
That's in there. Wow.
Trucks, of course. Graveyard Shift, I believe. The Mangler. At least 6 or 7 have been,
which is crazy.
Done. Yeah.
I mean, you think about this, that this book was written in 1973. So he's a little bit ahead of the curve on some of the, AI technology taking over mentality, whether you want to wrap it in an alien conspiracy or whatnot. But it was fun. It was fun. Yeah. It was fun reading the book, and it was definitely fun rewatching this movie. And definitely. It is on Tubi. Was it Tubi?
I watched it a couple of nights ago. It said it was only there for 13 more days.
Oh, we jumped on the gun, which is funny because, we could have been talking about The Long Walk, which is King's new movie, and it's getting rave reviews. It's getting really good. But again, it does not sound optimistic. It does not sound like it's uplifting in any way, shape, or form. So we went a little more upbeat
Well, maybe someday we can do The Long Walk as a book club episode.
Oh, now is that based on a novel or another one of these short stories?
Yeah, no, it's a shorter novel, but a novel
Okay.
nonetheless. It's a Bachman book, so it was written under Stephen King's pseudonym at the time.
What was the reason for that? He just
Uh,
wanted two paychecks?
I'm not sure, as a matter of fact.
Is
I'd
this like
have to.
when Garth Brooks went Chris Gaines? Like what was...
So this happened early in his career, so I don't know what he was doing there with Richard Bachman.
Interesting. Because he had a name.
Yeah.
He made a big name for himself.
All right. So what you said you wanted to mention something else that you did.
So I do want to mention this because I just came off it last night. And Book of Mormon, if you're not familiar with this huge Broadway hit, Josh Gad came out of this, the original run. I don't remember. It was a couple years ago now, but, still playing. And we went with two other couples last night. And I will say, entertaining as hell. It is insanely funny. It is ridiculously inappropriate. Written by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, creators of South Park.
Oh.
So the first song, it's like, all right, you're kind of doing the Broadway hit songs. There's a lot of songs in this. And then it becomes very inappropriate. These two Mormon elders get paired up and are sent to Uganda to try and convert people convert them and get them baptized to be Mormons. And they come up against a warlord who is Buck Effin Naked is his name. And there's a lot of songs about female genital mutilation. There's a recurring joke about a guy who has maggots in his scrotum. And there are more references to Disney and Star Wars than I ever in a million years would have guessed. And the lady behind us was like, she was really taken aback. There were some people like, you're genuinely shocked at some of the stuff that comes out of these characters' mouths. And I highly recommend it.
And where did you see? What theater is it?
So it's the Eugene O'Neill Theater. So it's right on 49th, I think. It's like one block off from Broadway. So Book of Mormon, it's unlike anything I've ever seen. Yeah, it's hard to even describe it. And, we're sitting there, literally the curtain is ready to open. And my wife's friend goes, you know what this is about, right? And she wants to explain it to me. I said, no, I just want to experience it. I mean, I know like broad strokes. Don't explain it to me now. I'm going to just experience it. And the lady in front of me turned and laughed. And she's like, yeah, just don't spoon feed it to me now.
Yeah.
So I think there's actually an age cutoff on this, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really? So there's not like a kid's day for a Book of Mormon?
Correct. No, you're not taking the kids to Lion King. Unless you want to hear Simba say the F word 200 times.
So next time, we are also digging back into our past. We haven't done a TV show in I don't know how long.
No, it's been a very long time. It might have been WandaVision. Oh, no, Mandalorian.
Probably Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Or, Winter Soldier or something like that.
Oh, Falcon and Winter Soldier. You're right.
But this demands it. This show demands it. So how could we not talk about Alien Earth?
That's good to know because I have not made it past the first episode.
Oh, man.
So
this is great. I'm going to watch it all over again as well.
Okay.
Right from the beginning. So it's fresh with me. I don't want to give away, if we like it or not, but this thing is just, everybody's been talking about it. So why not
it's getting a lot of buzz. Yeah, it's definitely getting a lot of buzz. Do you think properties like this, like Predator, we got the new Predator movie. Do you think a format like this, an 8-episode series definitely allows you to kind of expand the universe?
It does. You do run into the issue of contradicting the universe.
That has one thing I've heard, which is they've kind of rewritten some things. So this is like, one TV show that we never talked about, and it's unfortunate, is Andor, who just won a ton of Emmys. Somehow they figured out how to shoehorn this story in, and just you literally get to that last episode and you could just pop in Rogue One.
It's true.
And it should all make sense. And it doesn't really contradict anything. If anything, it expands upon it.
We just had Alien Romulus come out in theaters.
Right.
So there's some contradictions between this and that I didn't really like. But we'll get there. We'll talk about it next time.
All right, good. Okay, cool.
Alien Earth.
Alien Earth. Thanks for listening. Go truck yourself.
Yeah. Actually, go put on some AC/DC. That's what you should
Yeah,
do.
no, it does make you want to listen to some of that old 80s. It's so tame now. It shows up on friggin' the oldies channel.
One story before we go, which was funny, is Stephen King drove from Maine to North Carolina on his motorcycle because he wanted to experience firsthand the terror of driving, exposed next to these big rigs on the I-95 or whatever it was.
That's method right there.
And when he showed up, again, he has admitted that he was coked out at the time. When he showed up to the set, the security guard wouldn't let him in because he just thought he was a crazy person.
He looked disheveled.
He looked disheveled. At this time, he probably had his full Stephen King beard. He probably had bugs in his teeth from being on the road.
One eye's looking a completely different way.
The producers had to come out and verify that it was him before they let him in. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This guy's directing a movie?
Yeah.
That is very method right there.
Yeah.
Okay. No wonder why he never directed again. He's like, I ain't doing that.
I read some interview was like, why haven't you ever directed again? And his answer was, have you seen Maximum Overdrive?
Yeah, that is his go-to answer.
Yeah.
Which is sad. So I forgot to bring this up, but I just read that him and his wife have transformed their main mansion into a nonprofit writers retreat.
Oh.
So it's going to house like his personal archives, but it can accommodate up to 5 writers at a time. And you can go there as a refuge. Not a refuse. You can refuse to go. Which I guess is in
Bangor.
It's
right?
Bangor, yeah. Yeah. I thought that was kind of neat.
So
I guess he moved. Out and he's like, we'll let up and coming writers go there, be inspired.
That is pretty cool.
That or you can go to that hotel in the Overlook. I don't want to be anywhere near that hotel. I'll go to Maine. We're actually going to be Maine in 2 weeks.
Oh.
I don't know how. I think we're going to Bar Harbor though. I don't think that Bangor is anywhere near that.
Say hello if you see him.
I will. I'll wave to his one good eye.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
All right.
Thanks as always.
Next week, Alien. Thank you for listening.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
If you like what you just heard, be sure to follow TMI Confessionals of the Nerd Kind on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, or whatever you listen to your podcasts on. Also, be sure to email us at tmipodcast2018@gmail.com.
You can also follow us on all of our socials. We're on Instagram, X, Facebook, Threads. Just go to tmiconfessionalspodcast.com. All of our links are there. And leave us a 5-star review. See you at the concession stand.
As this is going on, the trucker is still hitting on her. Did that knife turn rabbit on you, sweet thing?